So, our second and final review of the day is going to be for the series Moon Girl and the Devil Dinosaur. It is a Disney Plus series there. I've been hearing a lot about this. People been telling me about this, how great this show is. And what is this show about? So this is a comic book character here, Moon Girl. I think this character was in the Devil Dinosaur. It was created all the way back with Jack Kirby. I think this character was created, or was it created a little bit?
Um, I
Are you
think it's more recent than that.
More
Oh gosh.
This
So I
character was
will.
created in 2015, November 2015.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
The
I was
Devil
like,
Very
Dinosaur,
so-
that was a character I think that was created by Kirby. The
Yeah,
actual Devil
yes,
Dinosaur.
Devil's
correct.
for sure older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have this girl, who I think, from what I understand, is the smartest girl in the entire Marvel universe.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Like it's kind of a debate somewhat between her and Shuri, but it seems like more
Yeah.
often than not, they tend to go with Moon Girl.
Okay.
Mhm.
Who is Lunella Lafayette. And she's a superhero, 13-year-old superhero who lives, of course, in New York. That's where all the Marvel superheroes seems to hang out.
Yeah.
And like I said, one of the smartest people in the entire universe of Marvel. And she has a companion, a devil dinosaur that got from another dimension there. And they go around fighting crime. You see each episode, that's kind of what they do. Very episodic in a way there, very serialized. Just every episode, new kind of challenges she faces, new lessons she learns. It's kind of like this show is a little bit like if you take the Proud Family and you take
Mm.
Spider Verse, and you
Mhm.
kind of mix those together. And
Yeah,
then it's something like
basically.
this, you would get pretty much,
Very
yeah,
good.
Moon Girl in the dinosaur. And heard about this, and the animation is also something that really, looking at kind of trailers for this and clips, it's like that's what really also drew me to it as well. Really amazing animation, really
Mhm.
lively, really colorful style. It's like I can only imagine the work that the animators do this, because not
Yeah.
only do you see that, but just like when they do these sequences, like every episode includes like a music sequence. It includes
Mhm.
like where they go into a whole other different animation style where she kind of fights bad guys. Here, she also has a great family that supports her. You have a great voice talent in this. Alfie Woodard, who plays
Mhm.
her grandmother in this. You have Jermaine Fowler, who plays her father in this. Jermaine Fowler,
Mm.
he's been in things like Blackening. He's been in before. He had a great role in that. You have
Mhm.
Uncle Ruckus in this. You got Gary Anthony Williams,
Yeah.
who's in this
Yeah.
there, who's her grandfather there. Lawrence Fishburne, who is the executive producer of this show. He helped the show get made.
Mhm.
Somebody brought to him the comic of Moon Girl, and I was like, "Hey, this looks pretty good." He is a comic book fan himself, and was like, "Hey, I'll make this into a show," and it kind of inspired him to do so. And he also shows up in a voice role in this as one of the villains of the show, the Beyonder, who's like a trickster
Mhm.
type
Yeah.
character, and very different performance that you've seen mainly from Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah,
Uh,
right, yeah.
More flamboyant, more like something like Chris Tucker and like The Fifth Element a little bit.
Oh, yeah, that's a good comparison.
That
Um,
actually is a great comparison.
and this series seems to be connected to the MCU because he also shows up as Bill Foster in this, who was
Mhm.
his character in the Ant-Man movies. Also, you do have Maria Hill, who shows up in
Yeah.
this, Goldie Smolders. So you do have
Oh,
the
so
Shield
good.
there. And they do also make other MCU references, like there's an episode where the Wakandan teacher comes there.
Oh, so good.
Oh, so good.
And then you also have, where they reference Wakanda, vibranium. Also Thanos is referenced in this. So seems like it is kind of connected to the MCU in a way there.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna go around and get you guys' opinion on this. Being fans of the series already before me. So, Hunter, what are your thoughts on Moon Girl and the Devil Dinosaur?
I hate how great this show is. Like, it's actually kind of annoying how brilliant this show is. So, I watched season 1. I took a couple weeks because I really didn't want to zoom through it. And then there's a certain point that it hits. I just went, fuck, I kind of think I'm gonna finish this tonight.
Yep.
I think I
Mhm.
hit around episode 7, I want to say. I'm actually gonna pull up the list here. Let me see. But I don't know how they pulled the show off. Every time I thought the show couldn't get better, it kept finding a different fight scene to use or a different
Mhm.
song to use, or um, this show just feels effortless in its representation, which is something that I was really happy to see. I think it's like episode 4. They have a computer that goes
Oh yeah.
by they them, and it's addressed right at the beginning. There's like it's just like, oh, this is how it is, and Luna's completely respects it and goes, oh, I go by she. I think she goes by she her, and they
Yeah,
like
yeah.
have like a really cool little bonding moment over there, and over that moment, I was like, that's really cool, and the show just constantly does stuff like that. Where I went, this show just gets it. Like it never feels forced. It feels very natural to the stories that they're telling, and man, I thank goodness for people like Lawrence Fishburne who see something like this
Mhm.
and go like, we really want to go ahead and see our stories on screen. And they're clearly given a lot of rope because Moon Girl is like, Brandon, like we're comic book nerds. What do we say? She's like a C-level hero.
Yeah, I'd say sea level. Like, she doesn't pop up in a lot of events. She's mostly doing her
No,
own thing. Like, yeah, very much sea level, I say.
but I mean that's really kind of how. But that's how you're able to kind of do this shit and kind of be able to go ahead
Mhm.
and kind of occupy your own space. Like that's not a bad thing. And um I could clearly see people liking her more after seeing this show. But
Oh, for
uh
sure.
like there's what was it, episode 4, the check yourself episode where she's having the chess match against computer. She's doing a test while she's playing this computer because she's so like she doesn't want to lose that badly. She's like, okay, yep, here's my science test. All right, go away. I got this. And it's this like it's very much being that smart, which I mean, you would have an ego like being this
Mhm.
smart already. Like you definitely would, but also being that hard-headed and being like, no, I don't want to lose. And Lunella learned some shit that you probably don't learn until you're 17, 18
Mm.
because of the circumstances she's in. We're talking season 1 and 2, right?
Yeah. Well, it's only
So,
half of basically a little over half of season 2. There's only 7
Yeah, yeah.
episodes is released there, and they're gonna do 24, so you're not even really halfway
Mhm.
through season
oh
2
really?
yet. You
Okay.
can talk a little bit about season 2 there and season 1.
Okay. So like they straight up address like panic attacks and PTSD, and
Mhm.
in a way that I was like, wow, they're actually making this very tangible for kids to comprehend and to get. Um Panic attacks, by the way, are fucking terrible. They're
Mhm.
terrifying, and you just feel like it's like the worst echo chamber in the world. And the way that they actually portray her like being drowned by her own thoughts, like almost in a very
Oh my
symbiote sort of
gosh.
way, I was
Yeah.
like, holy shit, like this is like it's it's crazy how this and Ted Lasso have been some of the best portrayals of like panic
Oh,
attacks that
yeah.
I've seen, where you just go, oh, that's what one's like. That's
Mhm.
Puss in
horrifying.
Boots also did it very well too.
Yes, and
Yeah.
that was the other example I was gonna bring up, where like you just go, oh wow, this is because I almost think like they've almost been like, I'm not one of those people go like, oh, this isn't taken seriously enough, but I think panic attacks and mental health in general has been kind of a like shrug sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I think coming out of like isolation and lockdown, I think people really had to kind of go like, oh no, this is actually a pretty big fucking deal.
Mm.
And having Lunella, um, what happened to her to start off season 2, it's a really big deal for
Mhm.
anyone, let alone a 13-year-old. And the fact that she can't really talk to anyone about what she experienced, that's its own level of anxiety outside of the actual thing that occurs. It's a lot, and this show throws a lot at her, and yet you never find yourself not rooting for her. Like even when she's wrong and she kind of needs to be checked, you understand that she needs to be checked kind of from a place of love, not purely from a place of ignorance, which is a really hard balance to strike. Um, but the show just keeps finding ways to make her amazing. She gets a really cool upgrade in season 2 that I just
Yeah.
loved. I was like, okay, the suit's just better. Like this is
Right.
just everything.
Let me see.
Um, that dinosaur. and I say this as a cat dad, I fucking love Devil so
And this is
much.
the new
Devil,
suit.
yeah,
Right there.
the new suit's fantastic. Like, and the season one suit's really cool too.
It's
Like,
good
it's not,
too. Yeah.
yeah, it's not a bad suit, but when you see the season two suit, you're like, oh yeah, this is what she like. I didn't know I needed this, but yes, I need this. In every MCU cameo, actually feel like in the reference, like it's very much in the background. It doesn't feel forced like it does. Like I think it's a rare thing, but even something like in I'd say like Thor: Dark World, I always go back to. It's like, oh, what about this? And look about the Reality Stone, haha. And it's like, okay, all right, we don't like let's roll it back. But every cameo and every reference in here, it's either like a very subtle one where you're like, oh, okay, like there's an episode in season 2 where they have these sidekicks of heroes and they're all like animals, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's Thor's goat, that's Falcon's falcon, like it's stuff a lot of like people just wouldn't know off the top, but I was like, oh, that's that and that and that. But then you get these more intense cameos. I was like, oh shit, Shield shows up because they would be based in New York. That makes sense. And oh, there's the Avengers thing. Wait, is an Avenger about to show up? Oh my god, an Avenger showed up. Oh, that's so great. Like, and the show just kept surprising me. I think that's the word I have to keep saying, is that I just kept being surprised by the output overall.
What about you, Brian?
Yeah, I freaking love this show. I was badgering Hunter like forever to like finish season 1 because I had the I had the unfortunate but fortunate like timing of like I was watching it like while it was coming on, and this show is on Disney Plus, but season 1 was also airing like concurrently on Disney Channel. So like they had like a first batch of episodes that came out on Disney Plus, and then I had to like wait for more. So I was like already fiending. I was like, first 3 episodes, I need more. Please keep this coming. But yeah, I love this show. I was already a big fan of the animation studio Flying Bark because they did Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And that has like a very flashy and cool kind of like similar style, great action scenes as well, like Moon Girl does. And I think they're a studio that like really has fun like making these like action sequences and stuff like that. Because you watch like Rise of the TMT, like especially the movie, like there's some action scenes that just go off. Like I had to rewind. And you can like see it in here in TMT and as well as Moon Girl. It's very anime inspired. They wear their like influences on their sleeves, and it's like just a really beautiful sight to like watch. Honestly, every single time, every episode. But yeah, I love Moon Girl. Was not very familiar with the character, very surface level beforehand. Like knew she was like the smartest, knew she had a cool dinosaur, knew she was probably an inhuman. I don't know if that's still canon or not.
I think it is actually. I think they doubled down on that. I could be wrong.
Okay.
But I'm right there with you. I think I read like 2 or 3 runs of her.
Same.
And knew just enough to be able to kind of speak to the character, but was also like, tell me your biggest rivals. I'd be like, like, like Kingpin, because he's in
there. Right.
But the voice acting across the board. So one of my biggest pet peeves is I hate when things do like the bitchy female friend dynamic just for the sake of it, like just for the sake of drama. But the thing about being friends with someone this smart that I think that the show nails, that Lunella thinks she's always right. And so when her and Casey actually have arguments, they're justified. They have an argument in season 2 early on about this new lab she gets, which is awesome, by the way. But they have this argument about it. It's a very sensible argument, and you can actually see where both of them are coming from. And they realize like, oh wow, we're teenagers going through this thing, but we need to be able to like talk this shit out and actually be able to see each other's perspective given on the gravity of what we're taking on. And
the scene where they were inside the dinosaur.
Inside the dinosaur, yeah.
Okay.
And I
But
remember
you're right,
going
they do
like,
have, like, multiple fights where they have to,
yeah,
like, kinda talk through it or, like, see the other person's perspective and stuff like that.
but it never comes across as bitchy. It never comes
Mhm,
across as like mean spirited. It's them just having genuine miscommunication issues and needing to talk it out. And it's done in a
mhm,
respectful way from both sides that you go, oh, okay. And like it's and just like little things like Lunella learns more about fashion from Casey as she progresses
mhm.
to the show, and Casey flat out comes up with the science lie in season 2 to cover for that you go like, oh yeah, you wouldn't have come up with that season 1. Like that's an
Yeah.
actual like progression thing because you guys are
Right?
friends. And it's just in the show too, it's just kind of relentless in how emotional it is.
Oh,
Cause
no, yeah.
because
You're
the
gonna
end of
feel some feelings.
because the end of episode 1 where she has a fight with Devil, and I was fucking tearing up. I'm like, why are you yelling at this dinosaur? He just wants to love you. And Devil ends up staying, because of course he does. But she talks about how he said that this is his home now and it's worth fighting for. And I'm like, oh crap, shut
Mhm.
up, shut up, shut up.
Yeah,
Like, and
yeah.
the show keeps doing that shit over. I think I cried every other episode. I'm like, you assholes, just kept finding.
Mhm.
Um, there's a fucking gentrification episode
That's probably my
season,
favorite of
in
season
season
1.
2. Like is season 1 or is it season 2?
What, are you talking about, like, the silencing, like, with the
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's season 1, yeah.
That's season 1. Okay. Straight up, no hiding it. They're just like, oh
Mhm.
well, you black people are great with your, drum buckets and shit. But what if we make, but what if we
What if you
go
were
like,
quiet about it?
yeah, what if we make New York like a giant Apple store, basically?
Yeah.
And it's terrifying because you look at cities throughout the U.S. kind of a thing,
Mhm.
and the way that the community um comes against that, you're like, wow, this is heavy. And all these episodes are like 24 minutes, 20 like
Yeah.
Yeah, just about. Yeah, the pilot is a
in
little
I
bit longer to
think the
introduce you
first
to
episode is the only long one because it's,
yeah,
like, 2
40
2 in
something
1.
minutes.
Yeah.
yeah, but it's like every episode is like lean. There's a lot of content in there. There's a shocking amount to reflect on after each episode. Like I'd always take a couple minutes to kind of go like, damn, that was, there's an episode about dating in here. And I just went, wow, like what a concept. Like, hey, you're 12. You don't need to rush into having a partner or anything like that. You can
Mhm.
just be a kid. Like and just these things that I think kids aren't told nearly enough. She has a slumber party episode, which is one of my favorite episodes.
Mhm.
Um, because I still remember like going over to someone's house for the first time and they're like, oh, this is my bed, this is my toy. Like it's weird. You're like, what the fuck? And the
Mhm.
actual anxiety that comes along with that. And her thinking that she's too weird for people. Like
Mhm.
it deals with so much stuff that I think that kids do deal with, and it does it
Yeah,
in a very informed way.
yeah. Yeah, really great series. So Jack Kirby did Moon Boy, so that was the first incarnation
Okay.
there, and then they readapted the character and did a Moon Girl that introduced there. So yeah, this series I think it first debuted. Let me see
Last
here,
year. I think it was
last
around
year.
this time last year.
Yeah, it debuted, yeah, Black History Month, February 10th,
Mhm.
yeah, of last year, though, so that was a
Boom.
good way to start things, and like I say,
Mhm.
each episode this will be a great, something for kids. I think it's something different than what you kinda usually see, and I saw something, on Twitter there of, like, what's a good superhero stuff for kids? 'Cause it seemed like it
Mhm.
now is mostly gearing towards adults with the, stuff like that, the violence and maybe the action stuff.
Mhm.
Like Invincible, you couldn't show kids,
Mhm.
The Boys Diabolical, you couldn't
Harley
show
Harley Quinn. Come on.
Harley Quinn, you couldn't show kids,
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
maybe this and My Adventures with Superman would be, really good to
Oh,
show
for
adults.
sure, yeah. I think
Yeah,
so.
that would work for
That's a
kids.
good combo.
Yeah.
Would really
Teen
kinda work.
Titans. I mean,
Teen
show 'em
Titans Go,
Yeah.
that's still around. That's
Yeah, yeah,
on,
yeah.
what, like,
Teen Titans
12th,
Go.
8th season or something like
Yeah,
that?
that's still
Yeah.
going strong.
Yeah, so, yeah, and it's like there's good lessons here, like, there's one episode about hair in this episode that works really
Mm,
well. I
Love
feel
that
like,
episode.
so good.
that was really good. Hair Day, Gone Tomorrow, That
Mhm.
was really good. The villains are really kind of fun. The Beyonder, like I said, really great voice performance from Lawrence
Oh my god,
Fishburne.
Yeah.
so the Beyonder is an asshole. Like, let's just get that out of the way. So it's like the Beyonder is such a dick. He's basically the Great Gazoo, basically, or
Oh my gosh, that's basically yeah. You're right.
yeah, or for you Trekkies, he's Q. Like that's like he shows up just to be like, oh, humanity's interesting. Let me just fucking prod this 13-year-old like and ruin
Man.
and ruin her day. And there are multiple points where she's just like, "Can you leave me the like?" She doesn't say the
Mhm.
fuck, but it's like, "Can you leave me alone? Like, I'm just trying to live." And the Beyonder even talks about the fact that he gets genuine joy out of just bothering her. And,
Mhm.
and there's an episode with involving wishing in season 2, which
I
I
was gonna
love.
say, I like how they develop the Beyonder because, like, season one, he is the asshole. He is
Yeah,
to bother Lunella. He is to like kind of push things forward, to kind of pull strings and all that kind of stuff. But season two, like, you get like a very different side of him, and I think that comes from like the season two opener where we
yes,
basically have planes, trains, and automobiles, but multiverse with
yeah,
Lunella
yeah.
and the Beyonder, and it's a very interesting. Like once again, Lawrence Fishburne does fantastic voice acting as the Beyonder. Um, but yeah, I just love kind of seeing this all powerful being kind of having to be stuck with a 13-year-old girl. But like, it's what comes after that where he's like, wait, I kind of want to be friends. I kind of want to be cool. I don't want to be an asshole anymore. But he's still kind of being an asshole unknowingly because Lunella just
Yeah.
finds him annoying.
Well, but it's also a really good message for kids because
Yeah.
there'll always be a new thing that you could potentially buy or what have you. Like
Mhm.
we live in it, and it's just like for a kid that shit is exhausting because you feel like you need to have that thing to fit in. And the show does a great job of this going. Like, it's very ironic this is coming out from Disney. Like that Disney are the ones are saying you don't need to buy everything. Like, as they put that
Meanwhile, I'm
mouse
like, where can I order a devil dinosaur plushie right now?
right. Right. I mean,
Hell yeah.
but it's very ironic that Disney's putting this shit out. But it's true though. Like at some
Mm,
point, you kind of just you can't keep up on every trend, and it's actually very
yeah.
good for kids to get that message because
Yeah.
That was the episode with Chris Brown in it.
Oh, that
With
was
the
Chris
new
Oh,
Brown?
No, I was saying that was just basically that's what they
Oh,
okay. I was gonna
I was
say,
like, hold on a
oh,
minute.
I was like,
yeah.
oh, so they'll fire Jonathan Majors, but they'll hire Chris Brown.
Yeah, because it was like the artist had the new shoes and she was kind of following
Yeah.
it. I think
He
the
was
artist
basically
name,
Pretty Boy Flizzy from the
There you
Boondocks.
go. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Bobby B, I think was his name. I think or
Yeah,
something.
Yeah,
something like
something.
that.
Yeah, that sounds right. But that boss fight was awesome too because like
Mhm.
a very good lesson, everyone. If you do get wishes, make sure you're very precise on your language because
A
because
lot of monkey paws. A lot of monkey
yeah,
paws.
because Lunell's blackness almost got her killed because she was like, I want him to have the baddest piano ever, and he's like, well, you said you wanted the baddest piano. She's like, no, I meant like dope. Damn it, like you asshole. It's like if you'd said you just want him to have a great piano, then you could have gotten saved.
Mhm.
But it's one of those shows that between that they have oh my gosh, I'm completely Casey's
Yeah.
got two dads, and their wedding is really cute when they go ahead and show that. But Casey talks about like her heritage, talks about having having her two dads. The show has multiple black women as scientists and like
Yeah.
badass fucking scientists. It
Her
deals
gra-
with
her grandma.
yeah, her grandma. Like that was so. I will be real.
I
That
guess
was
that's a spoiler. Sorry.
I mean, kind of like. Are we in spoiler territory yet? Or are we still just talking general? Because I don't want to. I don't want to
Uh,
go through.
what do you want to
Like,
spoil? We can spoil like what happened in season one there, or
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah. So like the last two episodes, I will say, if there wasn't a season two, I would have been fucking furious
Oh my
because
god, yeah.
where this season one ends up, especially if you're a kid, you'd be like, "Where's season two? Oh,
That
oh,
was
the
me
mouse
last year. dude. I was like,
the mouse.
I'll just sit here and wait, I guess.
Yeah, because that season 1 ending is kind of a kick in the jewels. It's like, oh wow, you're gonna end the season like this, but it's really good because it really does show, like, okay, kids, like there are consequences to shit, and it's a really big consequence. And I give Fishburne and company a lot of credit for taking a very big risk as far as that's concerned. Just real quick to shout them out, the people who are like the creators are Jeffrey M. Howard, Kate Condell, and then Steve Loader. Howard worked on Phineas and Herb, the Phineas and Herb movie. Kate Condell did as well. And then Steve Loader actually worked on Kim Possible, which is
oh hell yeah,
which is a great animated show for those who haven't seen it. Worked on the Penguins of Madagascar too. That TV series, that's great. See, I know great. I like them. And goddamn, he did Buzz Lightyear Star Command too. Goddamn, okay, dude.
Yeah,
like,
these
okay,
dudes are busy. They've been in the Disney like train for a minute.
I will say too, if you're not a fan of Lightyear, Buzz Lightyear Star Command is some great shit. If for those of y'all who have not seen it, but yeah, everything in this show just works. We haven't talked about it yet, but Raphael Sadiq, shout out to him with the music. Holy shit, the music! I have both. I have the full series soundtrack on my phone. Like, I've been listening to that a lot. That soundtrack kicks ass. That soundtrack's wonderful. Season 3 is written. I did see. I think it was Steve Loader talked about that too. So, look,
everybody start watching Moon Girl right
now. Like, y'all need to watch this, because if we don't get a season 3, the finale too of season 2, wonderful. Not to spoil anything, but wonderful. And a more mature season 2. It's definitely a darker season. Like, there's a lot of stuff that happens that you kind of go like, wow, okay. Like,
I mean, the way the season 2 opens, dude, is pretty dark,
intense. But it keeps so many threads going. Like, there's this thread about Devil not feeling like enough like a part of the family, part of the team, because he's so big and so he can't experience everything. So there's a point where he ends up going ahead and having like his own bad day with those other mascot other sidekicks that I mentioned. And that episode, there's barely any dialogue in that episode, and they still are able to just make you go like, oh, this is how Devil's feeling. And it's great. And just the show just, I know I keep saying it, the show just kept surprising me. There's an episode with involving like an Ocean's 11 type heist, which I was like, oh, I'm getting a heist episode in here. I wasn't expecting that. That's great. And you find out Devil's a big art connoisseur, which that's wonderful.
There's even little hints throughout the season. Like, I don't know if it's season 1, but it shows him like painting.
Yeah.
And like the shoe episode, like he paints the shoes for her.
Yeah, I started thinking about it. I was like, wait a minute, they've been building to this. Like the show just does so much stuff in the background that when they bring it up to the forefront, you're like, oh yeah, you have been building to that. And it kind of keeps doing that over and over and over again. There's a use of Childish Gambino sweatpants. Like, I straight up, like, that's the affiliation I have now. Is with Moon Girl now with that song. But I don't think there's a what's the one episode? There's one episode, I think it's season 1, with the Rat King, where she has her pet hamster, or the class pet, and that fight scene that's probably a top 3 one for me. Like, I love that fight scene. But the show's just great. Like, at the end of the day, it just doesn't do anything wrong, and it's kind of great at everything it tries to do. The voice acting is great across the board. I want to shout out Diamond White, who voices Lunella, and then
and sings a lot on this show.
Yeah. The theme song's a banger too. I was like, oh my god,
never skipping that theme song.
So it's that, Peacemaker,
Oh yeah.
The Office, and then like Justice League Unlimited. I think are the only intros I just never skip. Like I'm just like, nope.
Mhm.
Oh, and The Simpsons. There you go. But
Yeah.
this is just the theme song is excellent. The animation, there's so many different types. The use of colors is incredible
Mhm.
in this show. And where season 2 ends up, I went, okay, give me season 3. So please watch this show for the love of God. It's
Yeah.
oh, I love that episode too, where she gets a new suit.
Mhm.
It also does something that that just kind of makes me roll my eyes at Batman, who I have a complicated relationship with. There's an episode involving this villain, and she actually talks about the fact that, yeah, we kind of take these villains and don't let them actually try to be
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
um, you know, better members of society. And the way that she actually tells fucking Maria Hill that shit and goes like, look, this happened. Like, we need to, it's like, wow, this kid's 13 and she gets this shit. And like
Mhm.
it's, and that's the biggest compliment I give the show. Is I kept going like, man, this show just understands how to touch on these social issues. There's a whole issue about the roller rink, and as far as like a long held feud and how we kind of hold that within our communities. And I went, wow, it's addressing this like with 2 episodes left. It's just the show just kept finding ways to surprise me, and I don't know if there's a show that I would tell anyone to watch more in this moment than
Mhm.
this show.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, great voice cast here that you have. Mentioned so she usually pals around with Sydney, who's voiced by Leah Baryar is her name.
Mhm.
And Lib Baryar, who they use a lot of kind of the background of the actual people, then they kind of bring it to the show. So she is her parents are both Mexican born Jews there. And she is Jewish in the show.
Ah, Brandon, she voiced Violet on DuckTales revival,
Oh
by the way.
my god, yes. Oh my, thank you for telling me that.
So she's the PR person for Moon Girl there. So she does a lot of the run the social media stuff for her there, which always runs into some good comedy bits. They work really well together.
Mhm.
They're back and forth. Again, good lessons in every episode there. There's an episode about
Mhm.
bullies, trolls. That's a really good one
Oh,
there
that's a
early on.
great episode.
That's
I
a
think that
really good
that
one.
one has maybe one of my favorite songs of the entire series
Yeah.
there. I thought that one was really good. Like I said, coming up with, all these different songs for each episode and different musicals because that's kind of how these all episodes end, kind of boss battle and then kind of done in a very,
Yeah.
musical style, which is really, really fun and really good how they do that. Um which is really nice. Man, this show's very impressive, with all they
Mhm.
do there, with all the kind of stuff. I wonder how long it takes because if you're doing this every year, you're gonna put out a new season of this show. I wonder how much are they working, for
Mhm.
this, what they doing, and, I mean, because you can just see it on the screen, and, I mean, some really great episodes, and here, this is the trailer for season 2. You mentioned the episode where she kinda gets her new suit, and then she learns about the history of her grandmother and how that kind of ties in. And then she meets other women of science, and that I think that's a
Mhm.
really great
Yes.
episode there, which
Such a
really
great
works.
episode.
And I forgot this villain because that's the villain she uses to reform.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot the villain's name. But they do a thing where yeah, she kind of reforms the villain there and does that. And that's the episode with kind of the teacher comes in, which also was a really great episode there.
Mhm.
Uh,
That episode about mentorship, like holy shit,
Yeah.
I was not expecting that episode, and yeah, that might be my favorite episode of the season because when she just breaks down, it's like holy shit, this poor kid
Mhm.
can't, just can't catch a break, and
Mhm.
the fact she sets that boundary with an adult and goes like, look, it's a powerful moment, and then the adult having to realize in real time that, oh shit, I've been passing on my bullshit onto you. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like it's a lot, and the show constantly um finds the Kid Cree episode deals with that, deals with
Mhm. Mhm.
with a parent pushing their kid too far. You just go
Yeah.
like, wow, like it. Yeah, it's a joy. That's what I kept telling my friend. I'm like, it's just a joy to watch this show, and to realize that out of all the episodes I've watched, there wasn't one I didn't enjoy. Like there are ones I like more than others, but I was engaged and entertained all the way through, which is something I can rarely say, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that episode with the Wakandan teacher, that was Make It or Break It. That was the 8th episode,
Yeah.
last episode
Yeah, there you go.
of the season. And then the episode with the criminal there, Ride or Die, was that
Yeah.
Quick Whip was her name. Quick
That's good. Of course.
Yeah. And there's some funny bits that they do with that. It's like, I'm not quick, I'm whip quick. Totally different. I thought that was really good. Uh,
There there's a Westminster Dog Show episode that is so
Oh,
goddamn
yes, yes,
funny,
yes.
where they're basically doing a dog pun a minute. Like they actually have a counter the whole episode of dog puns. I was like, wow, they are keeping this going. And um that has a very good twist. There are some episodes where like you think Lunella is gonna be right about this thing, and then they kind of throw a curve, and you're like, oh, okay, she wasn't right about that, and then they explain why she wasn't and what the bigger threat is. This was one of those episodes where I definitely was like, wait, this thing is gonna be like the foil, right? And then it's like, no, actually it's this. It's like, oh, okay. And the show just does a very good job of like messing with your expectations in that way.
Yeah. And hello, Cat Nate Whitney. Thanks for showing up.
Hey.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated there. Yeah, Cat Nate Whitney, I think you would really like Moon Girl and the Devil Dinosaur if you haven't seen it already. It's on Disney Plus right now. Yeah, I think the show works on every level that it's supposed
Mhm.
to try its hand at. The lessons of it. It's not done in a corny way. I don't think. I don't think it's done in a bad way. Like I said, very much like very early Proud Family type of stuff that really works really
Yeah.
well at delivering the messaging
Yeah.
pretty well there. And of course, I compared to Spider-Verse with the great animation there of how it has the
Mhm.
sketchbook type style, which is really great. I think you can really feel the influence of the writers' room and the creators on this show that are, really have a great positive influence on it. Love the voice acting around the board. Forget to mention her mom, Shahir Zameda, who was also on
Oh,
SNL.
yes.
That's right.
Before,
Yeah.
She's great. She's great.
yeah, before she got replaced by the other black woman that is now on the show. There can only be one black woman
Yeah.
at a time.
Only
Uh,
at a
Yeah.
time. One at a time.
Yeah.
on
Not
SNL
I
there.
think it'd be New Girl. Can't have two
Yeah,
black people.
No,
yeah.
no, no. Nope.
And
Nope. Keenan
how's it going
doesn't
there?
count. He stays forever.
Yeah.
Uh,
Right.
That's on there rated M for maturity, man. Thank you for showing up there. Much appreciated. Final round here. Brandon, final thoughts rating on Moon Girl and the Devil Dinosaur.
Yeah, I am in love with the show. This is the kind of show that I wish I had growing up because I would probably be a bigger nerd than I already am. Um, but yeah, man, this show just does everything right. Like I agree with everything that you two have been saying, especially Josh when you said like a mix of Proud Family and Spider-Verse. I'd even like go so far to throw in like some Static Shock in here, like with like
Oh,
those
yeah.
like those episodes of Static Shock where they really dealt with like stuff when he wasn't even static, like shit gets real with the community or just like social events or social like shit going on in his community. And I think like Moon Girl from the jump, like first episode, first minute, like it sets the tone of what it's going to be like with that opening song, her like roller skating through her neighborhood. Um and yeah, I absolutely love this show. I'm so glad it exists. All the people working on it are amazing, and I just hope we keep getting more of this and more stuff like this. Like, I know
Yeah.
Marvel animation is just like really starting to start up. Like, we have What If, X-Men 97, we talked about earlier, coming next month. But like, I hope we get more animation that's not looking the same. You know what I mean? Like, just
Yeah.
fully taking advantage of the medium, and that's exactly what this show does. My only complaint is Raphael Sadiq. I need those interludes. I need the music that is not like the actual songs to listen to.
Yeah.
Because
the breaks are nice.
it's very if you've seen Samurai Champloo, like when it has like those commercial breaks, like you get like a little instrumental. Ooh, excuse me. But yeah, you get like those little instrumental breaks, like looking at like the title of like, or like with Moon Girl, it looks kind of like a tape deck or like just like something like that.
Raphael Sadiq right here.
Yes,
Yeah.
legend in the music industry, fantastic. music making man. So cool that he's on this show. But yeah, that's my only complaint. And it's so small and nitpicky and has nothing to do with the actual show. But yes, if you're not watching the show, please do. Animation's in a tough spot. Like stuff like this and Clone High recently got all their episodes put on like at once. When last year it was like weekly, they were doing weekly. So like these studios or like companies are really just trying to gauge audience like interest by binging, by like how you like watch how many episodes when it's all there. So like I feel like that's stupid, but
it is. Oh, it is.
That's way besides the point. Fuck you, David Zaslav. This show is cinema. The show is everything I would want in like a young black superhero show. And like we mentioned, it is unapologetically black, unapologetically New York as well. Like you get every kind of culture and person in this show. So yeah, if you're not watching this show, please do.
She's in New Jersey. I don't know. Maybe they'll do. I don't know. Maybe Kamala Khan will come through.
Right? Where's Miles at? Is Brooklyn far away?
Yeah, it's not far away. Like, come on, do it.
Like, I feel like those two characters would fit in this show for sure.
They definitely would.
Yeah. Hunter, what about you?
Yeah, Brandon's 100% on the money. Like, if I had a show like this as a kid, I would be somehow nerdier than I am now. This is a great companion piece with Craig of the Creek. Like, if you have
hell yes, dude.
Creek, please watch Craig of the Creek. That's an amazing show, and you would be very happy watching that. This show just gets it. Just from the music to the animation to the relationships to the black landmarks to the shout outs to black artists and black scientists that they have in here. There's multiple Easter eggs talking about like black science history that you're like, oh shit, okay. And stuff I went, oh wow, they referenced this person. It's like that's cool. Okay. There's a lot of that. Like and the show will stop sometimes and go like, shout out to this person, something that you can always go back and revisit. But the show's like definitely teaching you too. Please, like this needs to get a season 3. Like Bob Iger, god damn it, dude. Like you just yeah. Like I know you spent a bunch of money on fucking that Wish movie that made no money. Like you can give this a fucking season 3, asshole.
Yeah.
While you underpay your employees. But this was just, I was so happy to watch this. And I didn't watch season 1 last year intentionally because I was like, I will probably love the show and then be sad that I can't watch more. And so I've watched these 2 seasons in like the last month, and I'm pretty bummed that I don't have to watch for a couple weeks. So it's like, all right, cool. But at the end of the day, if you're a girl especially, I'd highly recommend watching this because I think you'll feel seen, you'll be happy. Like it's so hard to it's fucking impossible to not cheer for her and want to see her Vanilla do better. And there's a lot of female like science love that's shown here, like across the spectrum. That is so it's really cool. It's really well done. This is peak for me in every way, shape, or form. Shout out to Lawrence Fishburne for using his name to go ahead and help get this on people's screens. But I adore this. This is right up there with my favorite. I like this as much as I like both seasons of Loki, just to put in perspective. I love these first few. Like I was talking to my friend, he was like, all right, dude, like favorite seasons of TV. Like off the top, like Breaking Bad season 2, Pushing Daisies season 1, Firefly, Justified season 2, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur season 2. It's up there with my favorite seasons of television ever, and this needs a 3rd season. So
yes, it does.
Yeah, come on Disney, 3rd season of this. But yeah, this is peak.
Yeah, great song, great music.
Mhm.
Really great voice work here. Really just cute show overall that's really fun to
Yeah.
watch. Great lessons that are in here that work really well. If I had kids, if I had a daughter especially, I would want them to definitely sit
Oh,
down
hell
and
yeah.
watch this.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters if you have to be into superhero stuff to watch this. I think you generally
Mm-mm.
just can kinda get into it. Um, I think this is something that yeah, I mean, it's something tolerable for adults to sit down and watch
Mhm.
also with their kids. Something like
Shockingly so, yeah.
Yeah.
something like if you were to sit down and watch Avatar: The Last Airbender or something like that, if it's a good show for also you can sit down with your kid and enjoy it too there.
Yeah.
It's fun, it moves at a great pace. Always, fun stuff at the end of, like I said, big musical boss battles at the end that are
Yeah.
really great there. Catchy songs that are getting stuck in your head that you can
Oh
play
my
maybe in the car,
Yeah.
later on that you can kinda go do that. So, yeah, that's really great work too. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I watched this. I'm glad I watched it.
Mhm.
Oh
Very
yeah,
much
man.
think it's really great. In terms of, like, Disney animation, I know some people are kinda lukewarm on things like What If or, things like, what else is kinda up there now with kinda a lot of the superhero, animated stuff that Disney,
Yeah.
Marvel does.
Yeah.
I think it, is way better than something like that, in terms of the
Mhm.
creativity, the amount of, art that is, put into this. Rating for Maturity said, "I hope this is successful and promotes more 2D animation for Marvel, and
Yeah.
a lot of the 3D stuff is kinda eh."
I
Yeah.
totally agree. Totally
I
agree.
yeah, man, like, I'm a big, like, hand-drawn 2D
Mhm.
style animation, like, advocate because like, I know it takes longer, but I think one of the last best things that Disney's animated was that last Winnie the Pooh movie they did.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. It was like
I
that and Princess and the Frog. Those, like, the last
Yeah,
2
like,
ones.
those were fucking gorgeous. It's like,
Mhm.
not everything needs to be 3D, like, change it up, take some chances, you know?
Yeah. So for me, I mean, I don't really have any real issues with it. I think the show works
Mhm.
on really a lot of levels there. So yeah, I would kind of give it a this is cinema, I think. I think I love it
Mhm.
that much. I think it is really just that great. Yeah, something I think a lot of people should watch and should check out there.
Mhm.
And Ray from Trigger, we did both seasons. Yes, we did both seasons,
Yeah.
season one, season
Yeah,
two, which is on Disney Plus right now.
Nice.
Yeah, I would say, and then it's on its eighth episode, so they usually drop 2 episodes every week. They drop two.
well,
Um,
they're done with season 2 now, right? Like, that
no, it
Well,
still
no,
has
no. Yeah.
a lot more episodes. It has 24 episodes in total, and they're only on episode
Mhm.
8.
Oh, wait, does
Okay.
it? Really?
No, yeah,
Yeah,
it's still a
yeah.
lot more to go.
There I remember reading something that's one of the creators said, like, there gonna be, like, another batch of episodes of
Oh,
the
thank
show.
God.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, yeah,
whoo,
this is,
okay.
like, season 2A right now.
Oh my God. That makes me feel so much better. Oh, thank
Yeah.
God. Okay.
The next 2 episodes are dropping March 2nd, so that's when they drop. So I think they
Fuck.
Yeah.
dropped
Okay.
2.
Well, oh,
Yeah.
Brandon, you tricked me. Now I'm gonna be watching these weekly, you fucker.
You're welcome.
Ah! Okay. I didn't know that. I thought where they ended on the last episode of season 2 was
Mm.
it. Oh, well, oh
No,
God, that
no,
makes me
no.
Yeah.
woo, okay.
Rain from Tree says, "I hope it gets a physical release and it's an
Oh
art
my
book." I mean,
god,
I hope it does
yes.
get a physical release too. I would love to see
I
a
can just
Yeah.
art
imagine, like, an art book for this show, and I need that, like, immediately.
I looked on Amazon. They do not have one yet, but I yeah, I'm starting to collect more art books. I actually have my Spider Verse and my Mitchell's vs. Machines one down here, and
Nice.
um, so quick thing, yeah, y'all get physical media if you can. If
Mhm.
they put out a physical release of this, I will be buying it
Oh, yeah.
because
ASAP. I'm buying this for other people if this comes out on physical media.
yeah. If you
I
got nieces, maybe nieces, nephews,
Yeah.
something to get.
oh if I was
Nieces, nephews, grandparents, everybody gets one.
I've already told my friends with kids that they need to be watching this, and everyone
Mm.
who's actually taken to this so far has already been like, dude, great recommendations. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
like
Mm,
um yeah, watch this and watch Bluey. Those are
Mhm.
great.
yeah. What do you think? So age wise, what do you think? It kind of 11 and below or 10 and below?
What is it? 7, 8?
Yeah, that's the age. They
Yeah.
say it's for 7 and up is I think what they say.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Great.
Oh, yeah,
seven's
yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
seven's good because that is one thing I will say. There are some great horror elements in here. Like
Dude.
if your kid is kind of intrigued by the horror stuff, that might be your gateway into being like, oh,
Mhm.
okay, like when you're 11, I'll show you. I don't know. You
The
show like
Thing?
Yeah, I mean, if you're showing an 11-year-old the thing and they're fine, I think you're kind of off the.
That's a cool kid right there.
Right. Dude, I saw Songs of the Lambs when I was 5, and I remember I was kind of like, oh,
Nice.
you're right, yeah. But yeah, like this is there's a shocking amount of horror. Like that first episode's kind of a horror episode in season 2. It's like, oh,
I was gonna say, like, am I gonna witness a 13-year-old dying in front of my face?
Yeah, right. Like it's kind of crazy, but it man, okay. That you're making me feel better about knowing that there's more still to come. I was scared about that.
Raven Mature is the same age range as a medium-sized Lego set.
That's a good comparison.
That actually is a really good comparison. Actually, wow, well done.
Yeah, get your kid also a good way to make science fun. To make math fun.
Exactly. Get some music as well. Like if very easy to like listen to that soundtrack with your kids.
The soundtrack alone warrants this show's existence before you even get to like any of the actual content. But the music is just like there's hip hop in here, there's jazz, there's funk, there's
country a little bit too.
Yeah, there is some country. Like it's a great like melting pot of so many different styles. But like
I have that. I was gonna say I just have that the 70s and like original like version like of the Moon Girl theme like on repeat lately.
Oh, nice. There you go.
It's so good.
Yeah. There's a skating episode in season 2 about Pops and one of his former friends, and that boss battle was so fucking cool. I'm like, this is amazing. That song that they play was just perfection. Oh my god, I'm so excited we're getting more in a couple weeks.
Yeah. So this is cinemas all around for Moon Girl and the Devil Dinosaur. Very awesome there. Ray from Tree said, I feel like this would make a great Lego set. Yeah, I think so. I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah, it would. Yeah. I'd pay a friend to build this for me. I'm terrible.
I'd buy that in a second.
Yeah.
With action figure too. She's got the little punch glove. And...
give me a punch glove, like a Hulk hand. Remember those? Like, give me one of those.
Oh yeah. Like, what Disney hates merchandise? What are you talking about?
Whatever. Maybe we need to go back to like the time when Star Wars prequels. You know how much merchandise it was for those. Yeah. I need to see that for Moon Girl. I want merchandise everywhere.
I'll be real, like it's such a weird thing to say that Disney makes too little merchandise. I say as I'm wearing a Black Panther hat.
Black Panther shirt right here.
Yeah, it's like I'm looking around my room. I'm like, oh god, there's some Marvel merch in here, but it's like, it's like you have these characters.
No.
Yeah, right. But you have these characters who don't like. Me growing up, there was no Black Panther merch. You can find Black Panther merchandise anywhere. Now you can, but in the 90s,
you weren't getting Luke Cage. You weren't.
Oh yeah, fuck no. You weren't getting that.
No.
Yeah, you weren't getting Moon Knight merch.
You'd be lucky if you get Storm. Like Storm,
seriously,
like the only one.
Yeah, Captain Marvel merch, like please, but
no,
but now but now you can get that stuff. But yeah, a Moon Girl, like I have a Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur like shirt in my cart, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm getting this. I don't know when I'm getting it, but I'm getting it. I'll probably get it before the next episodes come out. But yeah, like support the show. It's well worth your time. You can watch it with your kids, and yeah, you'll enjoy it. You will enjoy yourself watching this.
Yeah.